All right, so let's get into it. Now, we already know G.I. Joe Classified been dropping crazy heat all year. I mean, all the time anyway. But right now, these are my top 10 grabs from the 2025 run G.I. Joe Classified. At the number 10 spot, we got Snake Eyes version 4. Now, I know that may be blasphemous for some of y'all, but yeah. I mean, I love Snake Eyes, don't get me wrong. But yeah, this one is fly. It's cool, but it doesn't really jump out like that. This is just a solid design. I like to have this with my rest of my Snake Eyes collection, just to kind of complete that. But I like what they did with it, the red goggles, the swords and everything. I like how they designed it, and as they always do, is harken back and update the classic look from that particular one. So this is a nice different look for Snake Eyes. Not one of my favorites, but I don't hate it either. Obviously, I got it, so I like what they did with that. I like what it's a nice look. It's something new for Snake Eyes other than the usual, even especially with the bigger goggles and that bright red. With his Snake Eyes colors are usually muted, but this is good. This works. At the number 9 spot, we got Law and Order, because G.I. Joe the movie. It's Law and Order. I gotta have that. And it looks good, even with the additions of everything that they put on accessory-wise. You already know with G.I. Joe, they're gonna come kitted out. It really has a sense of realism and texture to everything. So I like what they did with this. And, I can't have Junkyard of Mud and not have Law and Order. That makes no sense. The posability is awesome and the colors pop and everything. It just really speaks to and stays consistent with what the original look was and how he was on the cartoon as well. So we're good with this. At the number 8 spot, we got the Combat Armor Cobra Commander. And now, I will say he would have been higher if not for the other ones you're going to see. But yeah, this is also a nostalgic thing for me because this was my first Cobra Commander. And like I said on my other video, I never could get my hands on the chrome one when I was a kid, and we had to send away to even get the hooded one. So when I finally got my first Cobra Commander for Christmas, this was the one I got. As always, they update the classic look and bring it to contemporary times, and this is a good looking figure. It's a good looking figure. He doesn't come with a lot, but it's Cobra Commander, so he's not going to have a lot of accessories. He got his gun. He has his iguana, which I later found out was Serpentor. That's a crazy story. This was one of my favorite figures growing up, and so now this is a new favorite right here. Now, the 7th spot, we got Wetsuit. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie to you, act like I was a big Wetsuit fan back in the day, because I wasn't. I mean, I liked him in Leatherneck and that whole little thing they had going, but I wasn't really that crazy about it. But this, yeah, they did a good job with this one. The colors just really pop. It's that aquamarine blues, the orange, the black. It really just jumps out at you. And I was, again, surprised of how good this thing was once I got it home and got it out the pack. And yeah, chef's kiss. And the fact that I gravitated towards this so much tells you everything you need to know about as far as design and aesthetic and what they really did with updating this figure. It's always about the accessories that come with these G.I. Joe figures, because that's where they always knock it out of the park. And yeah, this is by far one of my favorite, biggest surprises from the collection from Classified that I picked up as of recently. Totally new interest, and yeah, this bangs a little bit. This is hot. At the number 6 spot, we got Blowtorch, and no notes. No notes. I mean, all right, if he had no notes, I guess he should be higher, but that's another story. But yeah, this right here, I've been waiting for this one. And another nostalgia. This was one of my favorite figures as a kid, and the updates they did with this are just chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. I mean, he had a brighter yellow on the old figure, but the way they did it with this one, they updated it, it just muted it. They muted it just enough to give it a sense of realism, but it didn't get too far away from what the original one was doing. And it works. This figure is one of the best drops that G.I. Joe Classified has ever done. Forget 2025. This is one of the best ones they dropped in the collection, period. And at the 5 spot, we got my man Sci-Fi. Look, now I know Sci-Fi came out kind of on the latter end of G.I. Joe, and a lot of people were kind of moving away from it. I don't think he is too many people's favorites, but this kid right here, this was my guy. And I must say, this thing has not missed. It has lived up to every expectation that I have wanted for this updated figure. And top to bottom, the way they've incorporated the metallic, Again, he had a brighter green, I believe, when on the old figure, so they muted it down just a little bit on this figure, but it didn't mute it too far. You know, it's still right in line with what that original was doing, and yeah, man, no complaints here. Got a half goggle like the classic one, but then you kind of give him the full face one, full face mask right there, and then the laser blast. This is peak right here. This is one of my favorite figures as a kid, and I'm so happy they updated it and I got my hands on it. So this is a great drop right here. Okay, at the number 4 spot, we got Major Blood. Second version. Look, I never cared about Major Blood as a kid. I wasn't a fan of him on the cartoon or even in the comic books, really. Now, I saw the original one that they dropped a while ago. It's pretty much kind of all brown, black. But the updates they did with this and add in the red, you know, in the midst of his chest plate and red on the arm, and just everything they did. And I didn't even realize he had a mechanical arm back in the day. That's how much I didn't pay attention to Major Blood. But the fact that they even updated the arm on the previous version and this version to make it look a little bit more less humanoid, it's just, this is a knockout design. His face, the head sculpt has so much character to it, you know, the scarring and the eye patch and everything. This is a great design on this, and the fact that they took the previous version and made it even better by adding the new paint applications. Yeah, I didn't see this one coming. This was a dark horse favorite. And at the number 3 spot, we got Monkey Wrench. No notes. Not a note in sight. No notes on this one. Yeah, to go back real quick, again, as a kid, I didn't have a lot of the Dreadnoks figures. So I missed out on the OG ones. But one of my first ones I got from the second wave was Monkey Wrench. So again, holds some significance. But this update, again, they knocked it out the park. And the fact you can switch out with this whole other mask that kind of gives you more of a feel with this, like a Mad Max type of thing, which Dreadnoks kind of pull from. So I get that, and I love that. 2 axes with the monkey wrench on the bottom of it. You even still get that crazy weapon. We don't know what it is. It's like a shotgun with a harpoon. They updated that. He's by far my favorite Dreadnought. Now, granted, I might be biased because he was my first one, but that's whatever. Details in his jacket and his suit, you know, his pants and everything, they really put some work into this thing. The Dreadnoks, it's going to be a lot of elements to what they got on, and yeah, they nailed this. They nailed this one right here. Now at number 2, we have Pythona, and yo, this is another must-have. We already got Nemesis Enforcer. I'm not calling him Nemesis Immortal, whatever. I didn't know how good this was going to be. Didn't know how good this was going to be once I got it in hand, and just the details that they added to it, you know, the design-wise is great design. It's the head sculpt and the switch out. And in fact, you have, you know, the regular face, and also you have a face where she has some fangs out. That's dope. But it's the cloak for me, and also the accessories. It's just like a nice little touch. And the cloak, which really adds to it to kind of give you that element. So yeah, this is a great pickup right here. And at the number 1 spot, Budo. My friends. If you consider yourself any kind of G.I. Joe aficionado, collector, or whatever you want to call it, if you do not have this figure in your collection, you bullshit. You ain't official. I'm sorry, I don't want to gatekeep. It is what it is. By far the best drop from the 2025 line. Some people may argue that. I'm pretty sure somebody will. But as a single release, this was it. They packed so much heat in this box is ridiculous. And in fact, you literally have something here that's like, you can almost get 3 to 4 different characters or combos of the gear he has. You can do so much with this. I don't think none of us knew how good this was going to be, honestly. That you can do so many different combos with the outfits and everything, come up with different looks for them was just, it's out of here. It's out of here, man. So yeah, this is the number 1 spot. This is the best drop of 2025 from the G.I. Joe Classified line. So that's going to be it for my top 10 of the G.I. Joe Classified 2025 drops. And now you know.